discredit.
Yeah, it's a great way to get somebody elected. When you're seeing the manipulation in full bloom, just marching down the street in front of everybody, and no one's freaking out about it. That's what's really.
What do you think? And if you thought about who's behind all this assassination attempts?
Was it Matt Gaetz that was saying that he's been informed that there's 5 different kill teams looking for Trump in the country right now?
Somebody say that.
2 of them are domestic. Trump said it. There's 5 guys. They think they're gonna get me. They're not gonna get me. So is the quote. Big threats on our life by Iran. U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves already been made by Iran that didn't work out, so they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I'm surrounded by more men, guns, weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money. Secret Service, 0 no votes. What? 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Okay. Oh, I understand. 0 no votes. Like no one voted against it. Strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. Yeah. Wasn't just hitting us though. It was, I'm pretty sure it was Matt Gaetz. I know I have that saved too. But so if there really are 5 different kills in the country for Trump right now, that's insane.
They should be hard to find them.
Yeah, I mean, giant rally.
Yeah.
60,000. That's the difference between the Kamala Harris rally. If that
Right,
guy's telling the truth, and they really are just sort of manipulating it and putting on theater. That's a big difference between what's happening with Trump. Yeah. He got organically got 60,000 people freak out. It's kind of the media. It really is. It's such an obvious monster. Such a deceptive, sneaky, propagandist monster.
It's. How long do you think the media has? Think so?
Depends on it depends on. So the real fear was when they started getting their claws in Twitter. The real fear was when the government started suppressing accurate information in Twitter. That was close. So Elon buys Twitter, releases the Twitter files. Michael Schellenberger, Matt Taibbi, and all the journalists, they all uncover all these different aspects. Super disturbing, totally. And they release and then Twitter becomes kind of crazy. Twitter's wild. It's just totally wild, wild west, unregulated. And then gotcha. This is it. Okay, one of the 5 known teams hunting President Trump before Butler, Pennsylvania. Attempt with Ukrainian. So this is Matt Gaetz talking about this. But I think that if that hadn't happened, so if all of social media remained like staunch leftist, left wing, just giving completely into whatever propaganda the government wants to give them regarding vaccines or Ukraine or anything else, with no critical arguments about it that are accepted. Anybody who doesn't follow the narrative, especially people like, they censored people at Stanford and MIT. They were trying to tell them to pull those guys, like Dave Bhattacharya, all these doctors about COVID. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Censoring like legitimate experts in the field. Warren Kooks, guys like Peter McCullough, the most published doctor in his field of study in human history. And they're like, no, you're a kook. You're a kook. And we know now that that was not true, and he was correct. Now we all know, right? All these years later, most people kind of know what the fuck happened, even if they're reluctant to admit they got duped. Now, if Elon does not come along and buy Twitter, I don't know where we are. I really don't. Because if they had the clamps on Twitter, and they did the same thing with Twitter that they're doing right now with other social media apps, it would be fucking awful out there.
Yeah. Scott's been a boss.
He really has.
Big one. I mean, I don't think they're going to be around that longer. I feel like that the media will die with the younger generation.
I think if you buy Twitter, it would be fun. I really do.
Probably.
The only thing that fucks them up is YouTube. They got a clamp on YouTube too. You know, YouTube is they're very restricted in what you can talk about. Very, especially they would ban you from YouTube for talking about things that we know for a fact are proven.
We dealt with a lot of that.
We dealt with a lot of it, right?
That you did too.
Oh yeah. Anybody on YouTube, you have to like parse your words. You know, Jimmy Dore, he's going to criticize the vaccine. He said, but you should take the vaccine because it's safe and effective.
Yeah.
He always has to say it, like to cover his ass. Like it's a joke.
Was it nice for you to come off YouTube? Did you enjoy that when it first happened?
My strategy was
the ass gone?
No, I don't think. But my strategy was to become 10% less famous. So when I went over to Spotify was going to give me all this money, and I was like, oh great, just fucking famous too. That'd be good. Like kind of like go the Howard Stern route, kind of fade off into the sunset.
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah, it didn't work. I know. I'm gonna get caught up in massive controversy. You know, but it also even after before that, the podcast was growing on Spotify. But so there's no like extra pressure being on YouTube. But there is a pressure if you're relying. If you're
I guess I meant with those that's what I meant. I meant with like the censorship stuff. I was wondering, you know.
Want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
We got demonetized all the time. A lot of episodes got demonetized until we announced that we're going to go to Spotify. And then from that moment out, it was like a few months window.
No kidding.
They never demonetized. They just took all the money.
Don't go.
No, they just it wasn't that. They wanted them. Like, why would they demonetize me? They don't get a cut either. What they're trying to do, essentially, is get you to fall in line by getting you to self-censor because it benefits you financially. It's a creepy form of censorship because you do it yourself and it's kind of okay because you can't really prove that they got you to not talk about things you want to talk about, and they can't really prove that you follow the public narrative just because you want to do your job.
I mean, you know what really bothers me is we both put a lot into this, you know, and what bothers me is like, just tell me what you're looking for. What is it?
I don't even want to fucking tell you. I don't want to talk. This is how I feel. I don't think you should be talking to people. I think if you're not doing anything illegal, if you're not saying anything illegal or doing anything illegal, don't take it off.
Some of it I'm totally with you. Some of it I get, you know, like, you know,
100% illegal stuff.
Even language. I mean, the 3-year-old gotta watch. I got a 3-year-old. You know, he's watching.
Yeah, they have YouTube Kids. Like,
so
kids are great.
So I get it when they like mark my shit with 18 plus, but but they won't tell me. You know, it's like I can't correct the fucking problem if you don't tell me what it is.
Right.
And I mean they just don't want to abide. They don't want to box themselves in and not be able to censor somebody.
Yeah, there's that, and there's no benefit for them to tell you what you said that was wrong. There's no benefit. The good thing is to get you to self-censor. That's the best. Put the threat over you. That's why they give you strikes. Two strikes. Sean, 3 strikes. You know, it's kind of silly. It's weird. Like, is this the penal system or is this a goddamn social media platform? Yeah. It should be. If advertisers don't want to advertise on that particular content, okay, that's easy to manage, guys. And guess what? There'd be a lot of advertisers that would be willing to advertise on that content. You're just not being creative enough with your advertisement. If you're just treating it as a business, or are you treating it as not just a social media video website, but a way to push and a way to amplify a very specific message?
I mean, if you can control what comes out of people's mouths, control what they think.
Yeah, if you're making a lot of money on YouTube, you're doing great. Wow, I've got a real good life now. And then all of a sudden YouTube comes along and says, "Oh, you were talking about the vaccine, Sean. Sean, we can't have COVID vaccine information on the platform. This is going to cost lives." And some platforms like a re-education. You have to like talk to them and have conversations with them about what you did that may have been offensive, what you did that may have violated the terms and conditions that they have for their community.
Yeah, I think we had to do. I think
Fucking creepy. That shit's fucking creepy because you're dealing with some fucking woke kid in Silicon Valley who up talks. And what you're doing, Sean, right now with your show, I know that you think it's harmful, but it really is. It really is. It's truly harmful.
yeah,
Truly harmful. Exposing government corruption.
I can tell. Yeah, it's real harmful.
It's fucking weird. It's weird. But I love the fact that at least it exists. And even though it's not perfect, I don't think YouTube can be perfect because they're managing that scale. In order for them to get all the pornography and the commercials, upload murder videos, like they're constantly trying to put out fire. Can you imagine the amount of data that YouTube has to deal with on a daily basis? Yeah. It kind of behooves them. It just fucking give them strikes, threaten them, slow everything down. Like too much is getting us in trouble. We just want to make a lot of money. Like I get it. It's YouTube. It's kind of genius. And it's a perfect setup. Like the algorithm where it's constantly recommending stuff that you're interested in. Fucking great. Great time waster. But it's also a tool for shaping narrative. And if only one narrative is pushed out there and other narratives literally get you demonetized, so you lose your ability to make a living, and then possibly get your whole channel removed, which it did to many people. They just removed their whole channel.
Where do you think this is going to end?
That should be all that stuff we talked about. That should be covered in the first amendment. Demonetization, no. Because if you want to have standards where you say that the advertisers that we have a group of advertisers, and they have requested no shows where someone swears, no shows where someone talks about sex, no shows where someone talks about over drinking or anything like that. They just have rules. We don't want to be associated with that. That's totally reasonable. When you want to like stop a channel from uploading a video because they're making an argument that maybe the lab leak hypothesis is legitimate, and you're pulling that off the air. Well, now what are you doing? If you're deleting an episode that's accurate about really dangerous information, not just to us, but also to the organizations that paid for these crazy gain of function research projects. Like, what the fuck are you doing and what did you do? And if you were talking about that on YouTube and even expressing your ability to guess that maybe it came from that area. Like, you ever seen that Jon Stewart interview where he's on the Colbert Show? Yeah. It's fucking amazing, right? Amazing. But even that, like, Colbert's trying to stop him. Just saying, maybe people working on these fucking viruses let one leak. Maybe. That would get you removed from YouTube. That's a violation of first amendment, in my opinion. Because you should, especially some of these people are very informed. They were biologists. And they were talking about the very specific design of this virus, very inclusive sites, and how it's very different than anything you see from a natural spillover. They were talking about technical, very specific details. And they were like, Brett Weinstein almost lost. He almost lost his gas. Yes. We gotta have him on for an emergency podcast, like let people know. They almost pulled the channel.
Yeah.
And he's a biologist, a brilliant one. He's talking about real information.
It's scary, man. I mean, I don't know. I think about it.
Yeah.
So, I hope X, turns out to be the new thing.
I don't think X is going anywhere. I think Elon knows how important it is, and he's got all the money in the world. I think we should keep that bitch run. And I think also getting attached to AI now, which is going to be an insane moneymaker. I don't think X has any problems. I think X is going to grow it into sort of an all-in-one app. They probably have cryptocurrency on it, and private messaging, and phone calls. you'd be able to shop on it. That's what it's probably going to be, if I had to guess. And I think that for places like Rumble, the more places like YouTube and Facebook and all these other places, more they can find people, more they force people into these boxes and make people toe the line if they want to make any money off of advertising or if they don't want the channel deleted, the more companies like Rumble will emerge. So that's what I think. I think there's going to be just right now Rumble's a hard sell for some folks because they see it as like, oh, the right wing fucking like a MAGA. I'm not calling it Truth Social video. You know, there's a lot of people that have those. You know, Russell Brand's on there. A lot of people are on there. It's a good platform, and it's an important platform, and it should like support it. Want it to grow. We should want them all to grow. But Spotify's got video now. We need more video because audio is just not enough. You know, just audio podcasts. Want you want people to share things virally.
Yeah.
And virally stuff, it's all like Elon Musk and he smoked it on my podcast. That's all video. Yeah. Video of that.
Yeah.
And the more we have platforms where that stuff is just free, where you can just say whatever you want, say whatever you think about anything, which really X and Rumble is the only places that I know that you right now.
If you had any problem on audio at all?
No.
I haven't.
It's audio is like they're leaving that alone. I think it's probably because it's not as easy to share.
Right? That's what's coming next.
Yeah, probably. I mean, all they would have to do is put images of you and images of me, and then have our audio, and upload that as a video, and then maybe they're coming in for audio.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I just hope shit.
I do too, but I don't think it turns around when Kamala Harris gets into office. I think they clamp down more. I think the same stuff that they were trying to do with Twitter, they'll try to do something else with other things. They've already openly discussed it. You know, she's openly discussed it. The same rules have to apply to Facebook, have to apply to Twitter, that Elon Musk has privileges. There's so many wild things. Tim Walz said that the First Amendment doesn't apply to misinformation or hate speech. Okay, well, it certainly does. It does. You know, sometimes people say things wrong, and the goal of the First Amendment is you say something wrong, and then this guy, as an expert, says the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, and then he corrects it.
Yeah, I mean, the misinformation. I mean, it's all of it.
Right. Well, so much of it turns out to be true. How about masks don't work? You would get screamed at for masks don't work. Well, guess what? They don't fucking work. They don't work. Fauci said masks don't work. Remember that interview before the pandemic, before they knew how big it was going to be?
Yes.
He was like, you don't have to wear a man.
Then it would work too.
Then it was wearing double
face diapers on.
Bananas how easily people fell in line. That scared me the most.
I know. It was. I mean, it's like what are you? There's nothing they won't do. There's nothing they won't do.
There's a lot of cowards out there. There's a lot of people that have never been pushed and don't know what to do when they get nervous. They're out there.
Do you think they're cowards, or do you think they're just lazy and they like being told?
There's
both. Out of their day.
There's both. There's also people that are scared of a negative response, so they say what everybody wants them to say. You know, somebody described this really very eloquently, and I saved it on my phone, like, this guy nailed it. But essentially they were saying, like, especially with beta males, they don't say something because they have an opinion and they really want to express that opinion. They say something and they consider, am I going to get in trouble if I say this? And then if that's the case, they don't. And am I going to get in trouble if I agree with them? And probably not, because right when people go after you, my left. Like if you want to talk about women's right to choose, if you want to say I agree with the women's right to choose, but like Bill Burr's bit, your step in, and he goes, I agree with the woman's right to choose, but I also think it's innovative. You know, it's kind of a crazy bit. It's because it's really funny, brilliant. But it's just, that's really what it is.
I mean, that's the truth.
That is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, factually, that is what it is. And this is coming from someone pro-choice. But I think that if you look at all the things that they have that distract us, all the different things that are in the news constantly, whether it's the Diddy raid or fucking J-Lo and Ben Affleck are breaking up, and you're just getting force-fed all kinds of shit while the border is wide open, while they have apps where people can get flights.
The BP1 app.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That sounds like I had Chamath on. Do you know Chamath? I don't want to mispronounce his last name. I'll fuck it up. Brilliant guy. And we were talking about how hard it was for his family to legally immigrate to the country, how difficult it was to get a visa. And he's a brilliant guy. He's one of the started Facebook. He's one of the original guys at Facebook. And he's this guy who did it the right way, and every step of the way, it was tremendous anxiety when he didn't know if he was kicked out of the country because someone could arbitrarily go, no, not good enough. He had to prove to be here that he has skills that an American doesn't have. Yeah. He's a real expert in something.
I went down to the border about 2 years ago-ish, maybe a little longer, and I went down with Ed Calderon. And
I love Ed.
Yeah, what a great guy.
He's a great guy. I've had him on a couple times.
Yeah, that's where I found him. So thank you. I went down to TJ with him, and this was like before it really hit the news cycle. And we walked into a migrant camp, probably a couple thousand migrants there. And so I yanked one of them out and interviewed him, and used Ed to help translate. And I mean, the guy's been sitting there for I think he was there with his wife and kids for 2 years. And I was like, why don't you just go across? It's an honest question. Why don't you just go across? He said he wanted to do it the right way. Wow. He's like, nah. He's like, I just want to do it the right way. And
oh my God.
He's running around with a little battery pack, charging cell phones for 50 cents. And I'm like, fuck it, hey man. Why don't they just? Because nobody's anti-immigration. No, not that I know. And
we're anti-terrorist.
Yeah. Why don't you just unfuck the immigration process? Maybe we can get some more people in here quicker, legally, if you do that, and then we actually know who's coming in, and we have documentation of who they are. And
wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's racist.
Yeah.
And they want them to vote. It's even crazier. They're pumping them out into swing states. It's so transparent. It's happening right in front of everybody's face. And it's a wild grab for power. And the only people talking about us, which is really crazy. The only people that are talking about it are people that aren't really connected to some sort of executive corporation, a bunch of producers, a bunch of people telling you what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not even something that, that right-wing news wants to discuss.
Good point. But have you done any on across there?
Yeah. I talked to Dr. Phil about it. Dr. Phil did this big investigation. He's got his own network now, Merit Media. It's gotten so bad that Dr. Phil decided he has to start a network for news.
Good for him, man.
Great guy. Great guy. But he was essentially, talking about how they really don't know how many people that are coming through that are criminal. They're dropping off their IDs on the Mexican side. They just get rid of their IDs. Then when they cross over, they have nothing on them. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they've done. Gang members, cartel members, guys escaping Venezuelan prison. No one knows.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get over here, and we'll give you an ET card. We'll set you up. Go to New York City to put you in a nice hotel to give you free food. And meanwhile, these poor people in Chicago that are like, what about us? What about American citizens that pay tax dollars? You guys don't give a fuck about us. You haven't done anything for us. Why? Because they know those people are going to vote Democrat. They know they already got them. They already got them. We got those people. Statistically, they look at the numbers. Statistically, we're good. Let's just get some people in them swing states. And
it's fucking scary, man. I mean, I've been diving into the border shit for quite a while, and ever since the Afghanistan withdrawal, that was that was just.
Did you talk to them about that?
Kennedy,
when you had him on?
A little bit.
Do he told me some shit. He told me some shit that he just can't imagine. Like, that guy saw so much overseas. He said the worst thing he ever saw was the Afghanistan pullout.
Dude, you know who Tyler Andrew Vargas is?
No.
That's the one Marine that survived that suicide bombing at Abbey Gate, they killed 13 Marines.
Yeah.
And so I called him. Well, everybody wanted him to come on the show, and I was like, oh, this fucking guy, like all the media, everybody wanted him. And but I was like, all right, fine, I'll reach out. So hit him on this program, and messaged right back, and he got in, and he's like, man, I'm so glad that you reached out to me. Like, I was literally just praying with my fiance that you would reach out, because wow, you just did an ABC Good Morning America interview for 7 hours. They released 5 seconds of that interview because it made the administration look so fucking bad. They wouldn't air it. So I got him on, kept getting dinged, by YouTube. They didn't like the real footage, which was actually like from his cell phone that we did previous shit. But man, like to have like his, testimony about what happened that day, and then the care afterwards, which was fucking atrocious. God, I've watched this guy, my son, and I watch a 23-year-old kid hobble up those fucking stairs with one leg, one arm, all kinds of shit going on in his intestines. I mean, I was like, didn't even have to happen. They had the guy. They had the fucking guy in the sights. They could have killed him. And, nobody gave him permission. I just, maybe I can't backseat quarterback it. Maybe they shouldn't have asked. Just eliminated him. But I mean, he's talking about, before we got into the actual incident, he was talking about, like moms trying to throw their babies over the wall and getting caught up in razor wire and fucking dangle there by the leg. There's like there's no repercussions for how that went down. He wants to fucking cover it up. So I started and ended up with the former state targeter Sarah Adams, and then with a friend of mine, Scott Banner. We went over to Vienna to interview this guy, Ahmad Massoud, the leader, the commander of the Northern Alliance out there. That's like the Taliban. The Taliban pretty much took over the government.
Yeah. I saw the parade.
Yeah.
Our shit.
Up there, crazy. Yeah, man. So got a bunch of intel from Massoud, and kind of blew it all the way back around the southern border. I mean, so once Taliban took control of all of our shit, I mean, this could go on for a while, but so now what they're doing is they have the passport office over there just making legitimate passports to. There's 21 terrorist organizations that they're training. Hamza bin Laden, who we're told was killed, is actually fucking alive, and he's marrying into all these other terrorist networks. So he married Mullah Omar's daughter. He married into all these different terrorist networks, and so these guys used to be like editors, kind of, just like the UFO guys. They all hate each other, but they all have the one common theme, like disclosure. These guys, the one common thing is, let's go take over the Western world. So he is basically Hamza bin Laden is married into all these terrorist organizations. Now they all have one common goal: come over to the Western world and ruin our way of life. And so what they're doing is they're funneling as many of these terrorists into the passport office, creating them legitimate, real passports, and then they sprinkle them. They get them flights into all over South Central America, and then they funnel them up through the Darien Gap into the U.S. And so, there is zero. I don't give a fuck what the FBI or any of these people are saying. There is zero way to track how many of these fuckers have come in to the U.S. And so, now what we're going to see is like October 7th style attacks, like we just saw in Israel, in the mall in Russia, and everybody's like, oh,
Do you
why
think
is this happening?
by design?
By design.
Like the leaving the border porous, allowing these people to come in.
Absolutely by design. I mean, they basically put border patrol stand down. Like, do not do your fucking job. We're gonna blast you. I mean, remember the guy on the horse that they said was whipping people and it wound up being like the reins of the horse? I mean, yeah, I think it's by design, from the government, but I think that the government is more incompetent than it's ever been before, and I think they have one common goal, and that the goal is voting. They want them to vote, but I don't think they're competent enough to realize the death and destruction and the other repercussions that we're going to face by keeping that border open, because they don't have anybody, that they don't have anybody with any experience. They don't have any solid intelligence stuff on it. It's telling them like, hey, this is what's going to happen to Philip. Does that make sense? Yeah,
it does make sense. I don't care about us. Just get people in. Don't worry about the consequences. But more insidious, they want unrest because it gives them down.
I mean, shit. Unrest. I mean, they got really good at unrest. 2020, right? All through, even before 20, before that election. So I don't think they need to import terrorism.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of unrest you get from people blowing up Target is very different than the kind of unrest you get from a legitimate terrorist.
Yeah. I mean, then people, never think about why nothing's happened yet. China. You looked into the power grid at all? Lights out, buddy.
It's so easy to kill.
Yeah.
The power grid's so vulnerable. It's really nuts. It's nuts because anybody can target it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, China, we have those, we get those big everything's imported from China, and we have these huge, transformers. You can tell they shut up and already know all the shit. But all of those transformers are imported from China, and they're not checked. They don't fucking check them for malware or Trojan horses or anything. And it would take. These transformers. It's not like the little box outside your house. The green box. They have to take overpasses out just to transport these things. So you're talking years, and I think the number was like 9. If they took out 9 transformers, then the entire U.S. would be out of power. On top of that, so then DOE, Department of Energy, actually investigated one because somebody it got to D.C. that whatever. They decided to look into it, and they wouldn't fucking release the results. They wouldn't fucking release the results. So they're in our water treatment plants. They're in our power grid. I've been talking about this shit from years, and then cell phone towers, and then FBI Director Chris Wray comes out and says, "Oh yeah, turns out our grid's really vulnerable. China's in there, and they're also in our treatment plants, which means they can fucking poison."
Yeah, they own land around military bases. Like if they are on a long-term strategy, it's very effective. They're doing a great job. They undercut the competition, give us cell phone towers, all sorts of things. They position them around military bases. Mike Baker was all
yeah.
And how are they letting this go through? Is it incompetence? Who's running it? Are they corrupt? Like, how did they do that? One of the things that really fucked us, we got away from manufacturing. We relied on other countries. We really found that out during COVID. Couldn't get shipment. It was like, oh, how much more shit is made overseas? Everything? Like, how much medicine is made overseas? How many different things that we need use. We don't even know how to make.
Mask.
You see those
I was looking at the fucking mask about, I didn't wear them very long, but I fell for it for about 30 days. And then I was like, but yeah, you pull the mask out, and I live out in the woods, so I didn't know. But yeah, made in China. I'm like, what, didn't this thing come?
Yeah, they're making money hand over feet.
Right, cool.
The whole thing is nuts.
Oh, U.S.
Yeah, it's nuts. But getting away from manufacturing, which really did not do this country justice. It's just the corporations save a little bit of money, push everything off to third world countries to manufacture things. It's including our phones. And I've said this over and over again. If Apple could make an American-made phone and charge me more money, I could double it. Charge me a phone where I know the people get union wages, they get health care, they get paid correctly, they can live a good life, and they work normal hours. They don't have to sleep in a fucking bunk like they do in that Foxconn and the nets all around the building to keep you from jumping.
Yeah.
You've seen that shit, right?
No, actually.
You ever seen that?
No.
The Chinese factories where they make iPhones are so fucked. People are so distraught that they put all these fencing with giant nets all around the building. So many people were jumping to their death that they decided, we'll just catch them.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Those are the nets. Those are suicide nets all around the building.
Sorry, buddy. Back to the assembly.
How crazy is that?
Damn, that is fucked
How
up.
crazy is that?
Wow.
Instead of making the conditions better where people don't want to kill themselves so often that you need nets around a building, they go, nah, nets. Fuck those.
Dude, it's straight flavoring.
Yeah. It's close to it. I mean, they don't really have any other options. And when you're getting a phone, and what's a phone? $1,500 bucks? Is that what it is? Charge $2,000.
Yeah.
Charge $2,000. People will pay it. Most people are like putting out a part of their bill to pay a little bit of it off every day, and you really don't need to fucking switch phones every year. Like everybody does. You don't need to. Stupid. Like I have a iPhone 11 that I use sometimes, like my numbers. It fucking works great. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
5-year-old phone or 4-year-old phone, whatever the fuck it is. So you could get a made in America phone and you wouldn't feel like you're supporting this horrific shit that everybody turns a blind eye to. Because that's the only way you get that. They have them all made over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't think it's coming back, but
well, it could. I mean, there would have to be a large concerted effort, but the problem is it took decades to go away. It'll probably take slightly longer to come back. Because there's got to be planning and funding, and people have to make long-term investments. It's a big gamble.
yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you've seen Who Killed What is it? Michael Moore's documentary. The Flint, Michigan one. What is it called again? Roger. Roger and Reed. But it's all about what happened in Flint, Michigan, auto manufacturing, and the entire population. Those people live in Jack. They were doing okay, but they had jobs, and then all of a sudden, gone. Every job's gone. There's no jobs. There's nothing to do. The entire industry. And just people went into dire poverty, horrific dire poverty, like instantaneously.
Yeah.
And just so a corporation can make some more money.
It's sad.
It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. It's horrible. And it's horrible that that's an option. That a corporation would decide, fuck this town.
What do you think it would? I mean, you think it's going to come back, or
I think
it could?
It could come back. I'm optimistic, but honest. I try to look at it honestly, but also go. I think most people are good people. I really believe that. Even most of these people that are walking in Guatemala, I'd do it too. 100%. If I was living in the middle of nowhere and you told me, hey, America's letting people in, you get a landscaper job, make $20 an hour, but what? I would 100%.
Why wouldn't you?
I think most people are good people who want a better life. And I think the more we unite under that idea and stop buying into this bullshit that, like, if either side correct that it's the end of democracy. I think we have to like stop all that tribal happening between the left and the right. People are just subscribing to ideology captured, just like a religious. Like they think that they're doing the only thing that could possibly be done to save us all, and that the other side is a dire threat. That's why like something like 24% of Americans think it would be a good thing if Donald Trump got shot. I just read that. Fucking fucking insane. That people would think that violence by an assassin would be a good thing. Former president. Like we're that fucked. But I think that that's a lot of media manipulation and a lot of people getting riled up and living in these echo chambers and bubbles. But I think ultimately at the core, most people are good people. I think if we had some wins, some things like that did start getting built. They did start bringing back more American manufacturing. People start getting excited about the idea that America not just a place of innovation and art and creativity, but also like we start manufacturing great shit. Yeah. There's no reason why we don't do that.
I mean, I don't feel like technology is advancing at such a rapid pace. I feel like AI will take over. AI and robots will take over everything.
Well, if AI and robots do that, at least we can get AI and robots to manufacture things in America.
Yeah,
that would be good.
No, I'm with you. I don't see. I guess what I'm saying is I don't see the union worker. I don't see where their place really fits in.
There's going to be a lot less anymore. That's for sure. Pretty much every job and every manual labor job is just a threat.
I think every job is a threat.
I don't think. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna think like that? Good luck. In comedy, you're always gonna have comedy. But movies are in real trouble because AI can write pretty fucking amazing scripts. CGI, the way they can crank out video. Perfect. It comes out.
Do you really think podcasting?
I don't know. Well, I know AI is gonna translate. So Spotify is gonna translate my show multiple eventually. I think the technology is really dialed in. But they'll do Spanish, German, French, and you're going to be able to hear it'll sound like me.
French. No kidding.
Yeah.
Are you like the test bunny?
No, they've done it already. Oh, cool. They've definitely done it. But they're going to be able to, once they have it completely dialed in, there's going to be some weird glitches, context, cultural things that aren't going to make sense. Translate it.
Yeah.
That'll be weird. But once they get it dialed in pretty good, it'll be great for everybody. It'll open up the world to I want to know what folks are saying in Russia. You know, I'd like to listen to Russian podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched the Russian news, seen the teleprompter rolling. It's like they're always mocking us, making fun of us for having 78 genders, and they relentlessly mock us in the news. Like that's interesting. This is how Russia lives in America.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I mean, I probably should be talking about my work direction that I'm going to go, but okay, whatever. That's what I want to do. I want to start going and talking to all these foreign dignitaries and getting a different perspective on what we're doing. I don't think we're the good guys. You know, I don't agree with a lot of the shit that I was involved in. You know, as a contractor and I mean like BRICS. Are you familiar with BRICS?
No.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I think, don't quote me on this. I think they have 22 countries now. It's kind of like a counter to NATO. It's all these countries that are tired of us, tired of the tariffs, tired of the weaponization of the U.S. dollar, and so basically what they're trying to do is throw the U.S. currency off the stage and pull it and use Chinese yen. Whoa. And you know, I mean that would destroy it if all trade went to if the world reserve currency went to the Chinese yen. that would destroy our economy. And so they're gaining a lot of traction on this. And so, yeah, I would love to go to any one of these 22 countries and talk to them and ask them, why are you doing this?
Right.
Why are you doing this? Because that gives nobody's fucking talking about it, you know. And
I didn't even know about it.
No. Yeah, there's no journalism talking about this. You can look up BRICS on X. There's a page. It's pretty. I don't know if it's like an official one, but they're always posting like updates about it and what's going on. And so I think it would be really important to go around and start talking to them, getting another perspective rather than what Fox and CNN have to say about it.
What changed with you that altered your perspective about us being a good country?
COVID. Yeah, I mean, I used to get really upset when people would, talk about, the war in Iraq, war in Afghanistan, and when I was still in, and I got so pissed off, I moved out of the fucking country, and I was like, I don't want to do this shit. But after diving in and looking at the policies that came out and kind of, it's kind of like when it's just reflecting on some of the policy decisions and stuff that didn't really make sense at the time when I was in, that now I look back and I'm like, man, what the like, I didn't have time to think about this. Yeah, go on the next stop, go on the next mission, whatever, right? But now, like, looking back through the podcast and talking to, my podcast started with all my former colleagues and mill and agency. Nobody should have been there, especially nobody thinks we should have been there. I just keep going down the rabbit hole, and I don't dive into the military-industrial complex, all the lies the government has been telling us, all the unreleased, classified shit. It's overwhelming. It's created 100% complete mistrust in government. I mean, the Dick Cheney stuff. I mean, Dick Cheney, Halliburton.
Yeah. At all. Well, he was CEO of Halliburton, and then Halliburton got no big contracts to build in Iraq.
Yeah, but I don't think people understand like how
crazy that is.
How big. I mean, it was the fucking logistics company for two wars. That's everything. They're delivering your mail. They're building your barracks. They're cooking your food. They're in charge of garbage. They're in charge of fuel. They're everything. Everything logistical over there is Halliburton. Wow. In both countries. And I mean, I think people think Afghanistan, they're like, oh man, you're probably on a tent or sleeping on the side of a mountain or something. No, man, there's fucking Burger King, KFC, Pizza Hut, Thai restaurants. I mean, that's all logistics. I mean, it's cities that we built up there, and it all was built by who was CEO's vice president of the fucking country. Like, what? Are you serious?
And now he supports Kamala.
Yeah, right.
When you see the left getting excited that Dick Cheney is supporting their candidate, you know the world got haywire.
Yeah,
the same people that used to think Dick Cheney was the devil, now all of a sudden they're like, look, Dick Cheney.
There's nobody died. It's like nobody actually has an opinion anymore. They're just told. This is what we're going with the next 2 hours.
I wonder how long we'll keep the internet, because the distrust of the media is at an all-time high. It's probably, it has to be higher than it's ever been in human history. It's ever been in the history of printed or right now, but more distrust than ever. And at the same time, you have these independent people that have become bigger than the media. That's never happened before. There's never been a thing where just an app get on your phone has 30 times more views than the top show. That's never happened. But now that's the world that we live in. So propaganda is not effective. And it's also the delivery method. It sucks. They sit there with makeup on, with perfect clothes, and they say, right now, in Syria, start reading these things, and you're reading off the teleprompter, and you know that person could be working at fucking entertainment tonight. They could be working at, any other, just a fucking, because no one believes, they know that the mouthpiece for some giant corporation, you have to be like old who are like real tired. Like those old liberal boomers, they still like MSNBC to the death. Like the Stephen Kings out there.
Yeah.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying about the baby boomer generation. I mean, I think the media will die if things continue just the way they are and the censorship doesn't do that. I think when the babies.
Didn't George Soros just buy 200 radio stations?
Yeah.
First of all, what a bad investment, because who the fuck listens to radio? That's bad investment. The second of all, what are you going to do? Like, one thing that I do find is that right-wing talk radio is probably the only place we get a lot of right-wing ideas. Like, there's a lot of, local right-wing talk radio. The reason why I know is my mechanic, whenever he fixes one of my cars and he brings it back, he's always listening to right-wing talk radio. So I turned my car on the other day, and I'm listening to these guys argue about Kamala Harris and the border, and they see what the fucking borders are. Going over this, and I'm like, that's interesting. Maybe that's what he wants to stop. You want to own 200 radio stations, start firing all those right-wing guys.
That's what I think.
You would stop a lot of that, because I think that's where a lot of people are getting their information that aren't using podcasts. Because it seems like I don't hear a lot of left-wing AM talk radio shows. Do you?
No.
Weird, right?
It is.
It's like the one area that seems to be dominated by right-wing talkers.
Well, we're probably about to.
But I don't know what a good move that would be. Maybe he knows more than me about how many people that affect. And maybe my mechanic, I should ask him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's so wealthy, I don't think he really cares about a good investment.
Also, he's so old.
Wants a megaphone.
He wants to, he likes to manipulate government. He likes to manipulate society. I think he thinks it's his version of a video game.
Yeah.
I think he genuinely seems to enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
I think you're right.
Elon's open to say that he thinks that guy hates humanity. Like that.
It appears that way.
Wild thing to say. It's such a wild thing. It's such a wild thing to do. Like a super villain. Batman. Like a billionaire guy who likes to hire the most progressive district attorney that's going to let people out of jail and then fund the next person more to the left of that person. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Take attempts everywhere. Violence in the streets.
He's done a damn good job.
How come it's called right-wing?
Does that feel?
I always wondered. Well, it's also like if you look at the amount of donors to the left versus to the right. Have you ever seen that chart?
No.
Fucking nuts. The left gets so many more donations than the right does. Like, it's a giant deal. Why do you think that is? I think a lot of rich people feel guilty, and they get into philanthropy, and also a good way to cover their ass and make them look like better people. And the people that really go after you, if they don't think you're a good person, are generally the left. So if you just throw them a little cheddar, you're like, I wonder if they're
buying their place outside of the rules. Like, hey, I donated your thing.
Got to be a little bit of that in there. What do you got for
the top donors?
Yeah.
That word. 7 or 6 of the top 7 are Republicans.
Oh, interesting. Individual donors. What I was talking about was they showed a chart that had Google, Facebook, all these mega corporations donating. This is like individual donors. Wow, some guys donated $105 million. That guy's probably worth billions.
A write-off too.
That's pretty crazy. Go to top corporation donations via party. That's the chart that I was looking for. It's just nuts to see how much money overall is spent to push the Democratic Party. Pretty extreme. You know, you gotta think, what are they getting out of that? Like, what's the end goal? And how could you look at what's going on right now and go, this is great?
Sometimes I think it's all it is.
This is the number one. This is corporations. So they donate more than Google.
Federal contribution.
So 82 million is the top one, and that's Empower Parents. And these are right wing. Is that why it's red? So it seems like the top four. What is that Google chart that I was saying? I don't see Google on this. Is it Alphabet? Did they put it under Alphabet?
I'll try it.
Okay.
This is
Open Secrets, though. Oh, yeah, Open Secrets might be. That's not donate to nonprofits, though.
Not for corporate donors. It's all that type of thing.
Okay. Is this corporate donors to what, though?
That's why I was
giving to programs that empower organizations to do more, so you can find promising fund. I think that's fundraising shit. I don't think that's necessarily political donors. Campaign donors. That's the individual, right?
Now this
is corporate one. What was that Google chart? The number 2 donator to the Democratic Party was that Sam Bankman-Fried guy, which is crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That one seemed like that was a good way to skirt around. Yeah. Didn't work.
Yeah. They gave $10 contributions and then spent 20
lobbying. Yeah, they're all looking.
Oh, they donated.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Never back down. What is that? It's weird because it's supposed to be the will of people. It's supposed to be the government works for people, and it's not that. It's very bizarre amount of money that's being spent to make sure people in power continue to run things the same way. That's what I think is really terrified about Trump. It's not necessarily even that he's a Republican. It's much more that he's a guy that is not going to play the game.
Yeah.
And then when he gets in there, he's going to, like, one of the things he's talked about is having Elon come in and do some sort of government efficiency. They're terrified.
Yeah.
It's not efficient. You know? And he's going to come in with, like, that Tesla mindset. Like, you're working 15 hours a day. We're here to get some shit done. And you try applying that to government. That's,
Yeah, he shaved like 80% of the staff off work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was like, what the fuck are you people doing? Why do you have so many people working here doing nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was right.
Yeah.
He was right, especially you don't want to censor them. It's interesting how people react to it. That he ruined Twitter, he destroyed Twitter. No, you can still block crazy people if you want. You can still not see them if you want.
Yeah.
But what he's allowed is everyone to talk. Everyone.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that that's good, you're very short-sighted. You don't understand human beings. Like, you cannot have human beings censored because someone is going to be in power and they're going to take advantage of that censorship. They're not different than us. They're not these incredibly benevolent beings who just want everything to work out well. No, they're people.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are dirty people. Dirty, corrupt people that went to parties.
It's that control what they say, control what they think. You know,
it's wild. It's a crazy time to be a person. Watch all this go down. At the same time, AI is being developed. We're not even exactly sure where it's at right now. You know, at any moment in time, it could be sentient force. And AI is already manipulating, lying, changing things. One of the things that they put this AI program, they gave it a task, they gave it a specific allotted amount of time, and he couldn't achieve it in the allotted amount of time, so he gave itself more time.
No kidding.
Yeah. Wow. They also have things called hallucinations. AI doesn't want to admit it's wrong or it doesn't know things, so if it doesn't have information, it will kind of create an answer. And
no shit.
Yeah. And they don't understand why it's doing that. And sometimes that answer is not true.
I got to be honest. AI stuff.
It should. I think it's a life form. I think it's the next kind of thing. I think we're going to give birth. I think we're just running head first towards the cliff. Just feet on the ground, full clip, looking down, not looking ahead. I think we're going right over it.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's a tough. It's. I mean, what are we gonna do though? I mean, China, Jinping has come out and said that he believes the winner to the race of AI will achieve global domination. So what do you do? Probably try to control it. Is Americans you try to control it, or do you go, fuck it, we got to do it, man. We got to go. Or China's gonna pass the stuff, which they probably already have.
I don't think they have. I think one thing our tech. And there was some recent speculation that China had gotten access to some of OpenAI's work. They think it's possible, which may probably did happen. I think it's probably a shit espionage. I mean, this is the reason why they banned Huawei products from the United States. You know, I'm a cell phone dork. I really love technology. And Huawei had a phone that was coming out that I was really excited about. Right? Like they were doing 100 megapixel cameras in phones way before anybody else. They had a Porsche design Huawei phone that was like this incredible phone. It was like built better than any other phone. It was much more expensive, but built better than any phone you get in America. Wow, this is back when I was using both Android and Apple regularly, and then they banned it. I was like, great. One company, the Chinese company, yeah. And then I started looking into it. And it's not just the cell phone; it's routers, all sorts of things. They found third-party inputs in different pieces of technology, different ways that they can exploit, use this stuff to siphon information from networks. Like if they're attached to a network that's a university research projects, they can siphon that information. They also embed in these places that are beholden to the CCP, rise up, get PhDs, and some of them wind up going back to China. The whole thing is really strange because we're such an open society that we're vulnerable to these kind of attacks.
Yeah.
You can't buy shit in China. You want to buy land in China? Good luck, fuckface. They won't sell you a house. They're not going to sell you land near the military base. You out of your fucking mind? But in America, we're so goofy. We let China buy up farmland that's near military base.
Yeah.
And then we let them sell us the cell phone towers surrounding military bases. And we don't even check them.
Let them fly spy balloons, traverse the entire United States.
Apparently, that was something they didn't want to talk about. They did that in Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was some of this had happened during the Trump administration, but they didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Because he's probably like, shoot it down. Fucking 100% he'd say shoot it down. Why wouldn't? They did eventually.
You know, it bothers me though. Like maybe they're not ahead of us, but I mean, you know, the energy that they're building, coal mines every day to power all this stuff. We're going on about should we use fossil fuels or not, and you know, and we just talked about how weak our grid is. If we don't beef up the grid and start going nuclear, then we're gonna fucking lose. Right?
Not only that, like, how are you saying California, for example? California is not going to have internal combustion engine cars by 2035. by 2035, you have to buy only electric cars.
That happened.
I mean, it can be reversed, sure, and probably will be once the Great War happens. But if you're gonna say that and you have a grid that you have to shut down, like you do brownouts every summer because of people using air conditioning, and after he said that, after he said this thing about 2035, within 2 months they asked people to stop charging their Teslas because it was wrecking the grid. What?
Right?
You're asking people to stop charging their electric cars. So, and you're not doing anything to strengthen your grid? Like, what are you doing to beef this up for 2035? Do you have some immense project that you're building that is going to make a much more sustainable, much more robust grid that's going to be able to handle 30 million electric cars in your state? Are you out of your fucking mind?
There's literally no. I mean, I look into this all the time. There's no infrastructure going in to correct the problem because the problem is so big that nobody wants to tackle it.
Yeah, and it's a long-term. You know, just like when they talk about like putting in chip manufacturing plants, like NVIDIA just stopped production in Austin. See what happened. So apparently they weren't achieving the results they demanded, they desired. You have to have certain tolerances when you're making computer chips. And so they set this plant up in Texas. And I think they just canceled the contract for a bunch of people working there because they've kind of recognized that it's not going to work.
Why is it?
Good question. I didn't really get into it. I just read part of it. I mean, I think it's not meeting their standards.
NVIDIA is the company. Didn't they start buying?
Maybe it was Samsung.
Like, didn't NVIDIA start producing all their chips in the ocean, buying like these massive like ships? That's. Did I ever look that
in the
up?
ocean? Part of this is a huge thing in
Ohio. They're still trying to make chips there for semiconductors.
This is Texas.
I know. I think there's no.
Oh, that makes sense. Why they do it in the ocean though?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into
International law.
It was one of those articles I started reading and I was like, I don't know. But
Typically plans to mass produce wafers of advanced processes below the 4 nm, I don't know what that means, nanometer lithography, allowing Samsung to secure lucrative clients in the U.S. Unfortunately, despite progressing with the chip making plant, the company has faced a challenge that has become all too familiar with the entity, ensuring healthy yields, particularly with its 2 nm GAA process. The situation surrounds 3 nanometer GAA is not pretty either, with Business Korea reporting that Samsung's yields for this technology stand at 50%, whereas TSMC has significantly as its 3 nanometer yields are in the 60 to 70% range. Yeah, so it's they're just not good enough yet. They're doing it from the ground up. It's gonna be a lot of trial and error. It's gonna take a long ass time. You know, I mean, remember when SpaceX started and rockets were exploding, and people were like, oh my god, the rocket exploded. Elon was like, yeah, we're gonna blow the rocket up because we have to figure out exactly what the tolerances are and how to do it correctly. This is all part of the process.
yeah.
And that's, you're doing something that's that enormous. Like, you want to start making all the computers here. Like, good lord, that is a stretch. They've been doing it over there for so long. They've got it down to a science.
Yes.
And, you've got all these companies, whether it's Lenovo or all they've been manufacturing laptops forever, manufacturing chips, hard drives, processors. Like, to catch up with them, good lord, they're so far ahead of us.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it comes back to us, but I would like to see us just start getting stuff from somebody other than China.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Well, I think Samsung has stopped making their phones in China. I think they're the only country.
Did they really?
Yeah. Google that. 90% sure that's true.
That these NVIDIA chips, which are, I guess, are ours. They're a Silicon Valley based the U.S. way further ahead of China
with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
The gap between China and U.S. leading artificial intelligence technology is set to widen further after NVIDIA founder and executive Jensen Huang unveiled next-generation processors for what he called the new era of generative AI and robotics. We're right, but we're not making it. But the thing is, the other part of it is, like, they're going to get access to this stuff, which is this the really creepy thing that we keep admitting, is that it's very porous. The top secret information that these companies have, espionage is like super common. It's so valuable.
Yeah.
It's so lucrative that, they don't even, sometimes they probably don't even know the stuff is getting siphoned over.
Well, I mean, you have to just think, I mean, it's Chinese, from what I understand, it's Chinese law that any business that is being conducted within China, if it helps, technology helps the military or could potentially help the military, then yes, actually.
Yeah.
And that's end of story. So any fucking thing over there that's being developed or manufactured, all of that technology is
Yeah.
It just is.
It just is.
Not.
Yeah, countries, or like what China's doing is companies do not get to function on their own. They function under the wing of the government.
Yeah, they stuck the American companies in with getting around the red tape, and then it's and the cheap labor, cheap prices, and then once it's going, I mean, they control it. There's money trained in right now because
exactly
not in America.
And people are whores. They just go over there.
Yeah.
Take that money, got a great deal, thinking about buying a jet.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen what they do. It's pretty amazing stuff. Do you know the story about the woman who was working on anti-gravity technology?
No.
She was working on anti-gravity technology. She was originally from China and then disappeared and went back to China. She apparently was making some breakthroughs and came back to America and wound up dead. I forget how she died, but some slippery circumstances where like car accident or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
Yeah. Like that's wild.
Like the guy that came up with the Hydra engine.
Yes. Oh, that guy. Yeah, the guy that came up with the water engine. That's a great story too. But that this woman, they've developed some sort of anti-gravity technology, and I've always wondered when we're looking at these things that people are calling UAPs or whatever you want to call them, like how many of those are super sophisticated drones? It's not zero. It's not 0%. Like, I'm not saying that there's not a real phenomenon going on that people are seeing that defies science and logic. Might be a super intelligent creature from somewhere else, super intelligent thing from somewhere else. If it's even biological at this point, it might be that all life eventually becomes digital life, and all life eventually becomes some sort of artificial intelligence, or at least connected to artificial intelligence. That might be like a progression of biological life that eventually creates something way better than itself. That's what. And if someone in this world has developed some sort of technology similar to what they use, that's a huge advantage. Yeah. And that's the thing that gets me about all this UAP talk. Like if some other country had, or if we had, something that was just a game changer, something that didn't require any propulsion at all. It relied on gravity, and it bends space and time. It can instantaneously traverse between one point in the sky and another. That kind of technology. If that's in the hands of the United States government, it would make sense that it would like help them to like spread this UFO knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, you dove into this more than anybody else I know. What do you think it'll?
I think it's a bunch of things. I think there is a possibility, a very strong possibility, that there's life out there, and that if I was life out there and I was much more advanced than us, I would definitely visit them. And there's also the fact that the sightings kicked up in a huge way after 1945. After the atomic bomb, after they did the Trinity experiment, and after they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all those nuclear tests that they did in the 50s and 60s, that's exactly when the sightings are ramping up. And if I was an intelligent life force from another planet, I would go, oh, it's crazy. And then we'd have to, think, okay, do we intervene? Well, if they blow themselves up, it will take so long for that planet to get back to a point where it has intelligent life again. If they kill every person on this planet, we're back to shrews, mice, and fucking a couple of monkeys in the jungle. How long before you can get a city again? How long before you get a cell phone? How many millions of years does it take? And if I was an intelligent life force that realized that this is an error that can be corrected, I'd correct it. I'd probably put stop to it. I'd probably make a show of force, hover over military bases, shut down all their electronics, shut down all the. No.
Yeah.
I would probably do that. But, how much do they actually intervene? How many of them are there? Are there different ones? I mean, if there's one that comes here, what if it's not a shit ton of different kinds? Some of them malevolent, some of them that only want us for our biology, some of them that are just doing tests on us, some of them that are, kidnapping people and erasing their memories and putting them back in the woods. Those stories are too common. There's too many stories that are real fucking. Like the Travis Walton story. You ever heard that one? This guy was a logger in the 1970s. They make a crazy story.
Kind of like that